Aloha cupcakes. I'm working on one of the skate decks, and this is a design I've not been procrastinating on, but it's definitely had its challenges in order for me to do it. So first and foremost, I am working with Alpha Enamel again, and partially because I have a very large volume of their paint, and partially because it's just I have all the resources that I need in order to make it work. To include a whole bunch of extra colors that kind of make this a little more fun for me. And two, I'm working on top of purple metal flakes that I mixed up 5 different colors of metal flakes. So, and I haven't quite buffed it yet because this is on top of layer 3 of clear coat on top of it. So it's mostly smooth, but not entirely smooth, and it's just glossy enough that it kind of messes with you while you're working with it. Now, what I mean when I say that I mess with it is normally when I draw these things out, what I will do is I take the Staedtler Omnichrome pencils, I'll figure that one out later. I take those pencils and I draw out whatever it is that I'm going to do, and I typically draw out multiple colors so that I know where my colors are going and where, each section needs to be what color when I'm doing the bases. Because of the design that I'm working with here, and this is an adapted design that is severely modified from a couple of pencil sketches, an old Polaroid photograph, and then the original reference shot, which I have, is a screenshot of the latex mask that is a copy of one of Ed's original t-shirt designs that only ever existed in form of t-shirt. So when I say Ed, I'm talking about Ed Roth. I don't know if I ever expressed this. I'm one of the Rat Fank artists, and I work with that. So anyways, I have access to some of Ed's designs, and I have a bunch of people that have resources for things like that. So when I need to do commission work for this type of thing. Now, for this particular one, though, I had to just basically take the rough idea of it and invent it on a skate deck that I can't draw on, at least not that I could see. I know that there are guidelines on there, and watching some of this video footage, I can see that the guidelines are there. But when I was working on it, I couldn't see them, and I honestly thought I wiped them all off. So just because you can see them doesn't mean I could. So basically, I am doing all of this blind and without an actual design, and decided it would be fun to try to do this with all just one brush till I got to the detail work, because I just wanted to see if I could do it. So I grabbed myself one of these, I believe this is one of the Hansen brushes out of the Monster set. I think, I honestly, I bought these a long time ago. This is something that I've had since I was in SoCal, and I recently just pulled this brush out of a drawer and just decided that I liked it. So this brush has been in my possession for quite a while, and I maybe it's time for me to go and actually do a review on this whole set so that you guys can understand what I'm working with when I say I have this brush, I own this brush, and I don't use this brush. So today I just kind of grabbed it and ran with it. So, and see how this pulls the way that it does? That might be one of my favorite things this brush does. I don't know what it is. It's just, it starts out with this big, heavy, dense thing, and it pulls and it curls just at the tip when you do this. This is something that I do with scrolling brushes, but I only do it with scrolling brushes. So exciting time. Well, exciting for me. I mean, the entire rest of the world to sit there staring at me as I'm describing this and like, what's wrong? Why skip around? There's a lot. That's the answer. There's a lot. So now one of the things is, I don't know if I've completely ever expressed this one. Normally when I do, especially when I'm doing the eyes, I have kind of a flow that I work with these, because I will draw it out. I know exactly where colors need to be, where colors need to not be. Not today. We're going straight eyeball. And then I'm going to shade in some stuff, because this one's kind of fun. I have probably 6 different layers of color in any given area on this one. And I'm hoping that once it's dry and clear, that actually shows through, because I think in my head I was only going to just use gray and then white accents, and then just outline everything with black. And instead, what we have is one shade of gray with another shade of gray with a little bit of charcoal added to it, and then white to balance things out eventually, so that I started getting these whiter lines. But I never took I never stopped with the grays. So even the whites aren't exactly true white. Even in the eyes, I left a little bit of gray in there just so it has just a weird little distinction to it. And the other thing with that is that even in the white parts, I mean, I may go in there and I'll probably highlight some stuff with white later, but at this point, I just didn't, because it needs to look grimy. You know, he's a monster. He can't look pretty. You know, he's got to have a little going on. Like a couple of those teeth need cavities and like those weird little striation lines from, not brushing. I mean, I guess I could put tartar in there. Tartar's still a thing, right? Like they used to be like in every commercial for toothpaste when I was a kid. Now I did switch it up and I started using my detail brush, because as good as that other brush is, it doesn't get in there. This is also one of those brushes. No, this one actually, it's not. This is a Tidwell. I think they might both be, actually. You know what? I think it is, actually. I'm going to have to double check, and I will get back to you guys, and then I'll put that set together and do a brush review on that. Yeah, I think these are all Tidwells. I know that the olive green ones, they're all Tidwells, and I bought a bunch of them a long time ago, and they have been mutilated. This one, a lot of the finish has come off of the handle due to turpentine existing. If you ever find yourself in northern Nevada, turpentine is plentiful, and it will get work done. It's just you get to replace some brushes. Well, I mean, I was close. This one, I salvaged it. Now, something with these detail brushes, and part of why I really like using them, is that they flow and they function almost identical to the way that my scrolling brushes do. And what I mean by that is the way that you pull a round line in a tight curve with these things, they pull it almost identically. And it gives you the ability to pull squared off tips to a line so that it's completely just 90-degree angles, or you can pull off those taper lines where it goes to a sharpened point. And I like having that versatility in the same brush, especially when I'm working on something very small. So like here, we're doing the white accents. I did eventually decide to do the white accents. And while I'm doing this, so I'm alternating between those squared off lines and those sharp lines. And kind of really hope that the camera could see that better. But well, that's the other thing. So we only use one camera today. I was trying to like make my editing flow go a little bit faster and just do everything with one camera. And then every time I repalette it or change colors, I would move the angle a little bit. Not a lot, because I still need you to be able to see what I'm doing. And then I equally still need the camera to not be in my face. So that's where we are. Now, somewhere along the line, I pinstriped it and neglected to turn the camera back on. But this is how this turned out. It's a little wrecked, but it was fun. I really like the way this one came out. I'll work on that pinstriping thing. Till next one, stay moist, my friends.